Okay, good morning, guys. I'm gonna do a Sunday market analysis. It's 9:30 in the morning, so the markets haven't opened yet, but I don't feel like doing a review after 5 p.m. So we're just gonna do this little analysis review before the market opens. So it is NFP week. We're starting off on the economic calendar as always. It is NFP week, non-farm payroll. I don't trade on Thursdays or Fridays of non-NFP week. So Thursday, Fridays are no trade days for me, and Wednesday is also a no trade day for me because we have a PM FOMC event. So one of my rules, one of the things I have listed on my trading plan is whenever there's a PM FOMC event, that's a red folder, high impact news driver, I'm not trading the morning session because I'm anticipating that morning session to be choppy, to kind of just stall around until we get to that PM session, FOMC press conference. Then I'm expecting the real moves in the market to take place. But more times than not, that morning session typically is just it's wonky, so I just avoid it altogether, save my money. Tuesday, so normal market, normal trading day for me. Monday is probably going to be a half risk type of day. I'm lowering my leverage. Whenever there's a Monday with no news drivers, those Mondays are typically choppy, a little bit difficult to navigate. So I'll show up on Monday, but I'm definitely not taking any setups unless it's clean. So Tuesday is really the best trading day for this week, in my opinion. So that's where I'm looking to make my money for the week, and then I'm done. Now that we got the economic calendar out the way, let's dive into this analysis. So starting on the weekly chart, we have the E-mini S&P on the left, and we have the dollar index on the right. So I'm still bearish on ES, bullish on the dollar. We took out this low on ES, and we closed past consequent encroachment of this fair value gap on the weekly chart. So I'm still heavy in ES. I still want to see lower prices. I think it's reasonable to see a retracement in the first half of the week, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. See a little retracement as we come off of this low, and as we kind of, just retrace off of this fair value gap. So I think it's reasonable to expect higher prices first half of the week, since we did reach the low of this fair value gap. But ultimately, I still want to see lower prices, but we just have to see what NFP will do on Friday. And I eventually want to see this volume imbalance traded into. So that's my draw on the weekly chart. Dollar index, we have buy side here, but the longer term draw would be this buy side here. And this fair value gap, this large fair value gap, I want to see us reprice into that. About 25% will be my first objective for this fair value gap, so it'll be somewhere in here, and then eventually consequent encroachment, 75%, and then eventually reprice to the entire of the weekly CIVI. But that's a weekly chart, that's a long-term draw. I really only use the weekly chart to get my direction for the week, but the daily chart is where I like to keep my daily levels on, my key levels. So I deleted those weekly levels. I don't like to have those on my chart. The daily chart is where I like to keep my markup. So daily chart, ES on the left, we have this volume imbalance and fair value gap. I just included both of those, and below that we just traded into this fair value gap. I want to see us dig a little deeper into that, but like I said, it wouldn't be unreasonable for price to retrace a little bit after taking out sell side and trading into this. So I think it's likely for us to trade up in here, but if we do, I don't want to see us close past this fair value gap here. And it's reasonable for me, in my opinion, for price to close past this volume imbalance because we like to lay bodies, candle bodies over volume imbalances. So that's something that I don't mind seeing, but for heaviness, I would prefer for it to trade up in here and then eventually reach for the sell side here on the daily chart, completely overlapping this fair value gap. Once again, bearish on ES. Dollar, dollar's just been real choppy. It's been consolidating, hasn't really been doing anything. It's really just been moving intraday. But we had this fair value gap here, took out sell side with this low, then we came back, took out sell side again. So kind of like a 3 drives reversal. Finally rallied, left a fair value gap. We traded just barely to the low of it, For bullishness, I don't want to see us close past mean threshold of this down close candle, which is a bullish order block. I would rather see price just stay above that and eventually take out this buy side here and this buy side here on the daily chart. So bullish on dollar, still bearish on ES. And this is just another close-up of that price action on the daily chart. You can see the volume imbalance in here, and this is also a fair value gap. So I want to see price respect this if we do trade up into it. For me, that'll confirm that we want to go lower and eventually reach for the sell side here. 4-hour chart, we have these two up close candles before this down move. That is your 4-hour bearish order block. So all of this can change depending on where we open on Sunday. Like, who knows, we could open all the way up here, and then, you know, this order block is likely, you know, not to act as resistance to send price lower. Or we could open down here below this, you know, fair value gap. That's kind of one of the downsides of making a market, you know, Sunday analysis video before market opens, but, you know, you gotta take what you can get. So assuming we open, you know, somewhere in here, I would like to see price, you know, treat this as resistance if we do trade up into it. If we disrespect these two up close candles and trade above it, we do have this daily level right here that I said I want to see act as resistance. It can trade up into here, but I would prefer to see, you know, candles close past consequent encroachment of this fair value gap right there. So 4-hour chart right there on ES order block. I eventually want to see lower prices. This may not come till the second half of the week, Thursday and Friday, as we approach non-farm payroll, that news announcement. Dollar index 4-hour chart, traded into this order block. We'll just walk through this. Took out a low, rallied up. This is a breakaway gap. I don't want to see price come back into that and fill it. Another fair value gap. We had an institutional order flow entry drill, rallied, order block, hit that, rallied again, order block. You see the bodies respecting that. So on the 4-hour chart, I want to see us rally. I don't want to see this low taken out. If we do take out this low, then we may be wanting to revisit this fair value gap, or maybe even this one, but I really don't want to see that because I want to see lower prices in ES and not the dollar. So I kind of just want to see us start to expand up to those daily buy side levels. But dollar's been consolidating, so it may just do that again. I'm kind of taking this week with a grain of salt. I'm not looking for, or at least I'm not expecting extreme amounts of precision. So just take this with a grain of salt. I'm expecting, you know, a difficult market this week, in my opinion. So hourly chart, this is the last time frame I'm going to go into. I'm not going to go any lower than this. So on the left, ES, we have again that 4-hour order block just shown on the hourly time frame. These two candles, I just kind of mark this up as one large fair value gap, even though there is a smaller separation here, just to keep the charts clean. Just pretend this is just one candle here. So price can trade up into that and go lower, or we may open way up here, and then that negates all the logic. You know, we may be wanting to trade eventually up into here. So it all depends on where we open and how we treat these levels, but assuming we open just somewhere in here, I would like to see, or rather I'll be observing, if this fair value gap can send price lower, if this order block on the hourly or the 4-hour time frame can send price lower, or if we negate all that and disrespect all those PD arrays, then we may be wanting to come up here, take out that buy side, maybe take out this buy side, and then resume lower going into NFP on Friday. On the hourly chart, dollar index on the right, so we traded down into that 4-hour bullish order block, fair value gap on the 1-hour time frame. You can see the bodies respecting the low of that. We rallied up. We have a small little fair value gap here. If we do trade into that, I want to see this act as support to send price higher. And then we also have this down close candle. I don't want to see price close past the midpoint of this down close candle, which is mean threshold. Okay, this is a bullish order block. I would like this up close candle, which is a bearish order block. I want to see this get completely disrespected as we head for buy side. Okay, so I don't want to see this act as resistance. I don't want to see us stalling in here. I want to see us quickly close past mean threshold of this candle, or completely just overlap it and go higher. That will give me confidence to trust that dollar is going higher towards that weekly high that we annotated up here. Okay, this is the draw for me on the weekly chart. and I want to see this candle get violated for higher prices. So that's all I have for this Sunday analysis video. I'm really nimble this week. There's still a lot of stuff going on across the world with the whole, Israel conflict. The markets are kind of stalling, dollars consolidating, but everything else is moving, so that's problematic. And then again, it's NFP week combined with an FOMC event on Wednesday, so it's gonna be dangerous. It's pretty much a minefield this week. That's why I'm only trading 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and Monday I am reducing my risk. So just be careful this week, be smart. Hopefully you learned something from this video. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where we open and just see how we look going into Monday. So that's all I got for this one. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.